If someone is born a male, at least once in his life he'll dream of becoming the strongest man alive. Grappler, the martial artist who aims to become the strongest in the world. Baki the Grappler 2001 was surprisingly a very good anime story-wise. Starting off in the beginning, we see a young man with short orange hair, Baki Hanma, of course, the protagonist. Before we actually see him, we see a gang running over 100 plus men in total, ready to fight the young man Baki Hanma. As two detectives, Kido and his rookie partner, we sadly don't get his name, we're witnessing the gathering up of the gang. The rookie claiming it's suicidal for Baki to jump in. 1 against 100 of men, especially with their leader, Nato. But very unexpectedly, we see a calm, ignorant smirk on Baki's face. The look on his face gave him an expression of savagery and anger. As Baki rushed into attack, he went for the leader first. Attacking him rapidly, Baki was also getting mad of the fact that Nato was so easy to fight for a leader. It's like Baki has a reason to get mad for Nato for being so weak. Later on, we witness that Baki lives by himself in a dojo, training his body and working for some goal. And that goal is to be the strongest man alive. Baki was sent and born for one reason, and one reason only, to be stronger than the strongest grappler to ever exist, Yujiro Hanma, the father of Baki. Baki was born as a wealthy child, his mother getting all the professional fighters and senseis and scientists to complete this boy in a peak form at a very young age, and preparing him to be strong as Yujiro someday. Enter Yuri Chbosky, the man who sparked Baki to become the Baki who he is later on in the anime. Yuri is a very upright person who usually does the right things. He has a lot of pride as a fighter. This pride comes from his family passed down called the Jigil. Jigil is an ethnicity portrayed as a tribe of fierce warriors who overpowered the Khans, but was never explained in Asian culture due to the embarrassment of the Asian culture if they told everybody they lost. Yuri is very protective about his sister Nina Chbosky and is able to overcome many obstacles to ensure her safety. But the drawbacks to his character was his potential. He talked all about pride, but yet was controlled by the boxing industry. That was the only way to get him and Nina out of the bad area they once lived in. So Yuri took boxing seriously and became the champion of the US of boxing. Later that day, Baki, witnessing Yuri in action, was very satisfied in what he saw. Baki challenges Yuri. Yuri stomps Baki, teaching him a lesson about fighting. Nature is everything in fighting. Leaving Baki with confusion and anger, Baki is destined to have his own ways of training, as he thinks that staying in Japan is a comfort zone and a distraction. Baki travels to the most dangerous forest called the Yasha Forest to learn from a man that had connections with Baki's dad, Ando, and trains Baki physically. Ando tells the story of a powerful beast named the Yasha Ape. The only person to have defeated the ape is Yujiro Hanma. As the legend was told, Baki is determined by this, telling Ando that he will train in the middle of the forest while waiting for the Yasha Ape to attack. The Yasha Ape appeared to only stomp Baki with ease, almost killing him. Ando comes to save Baki, but ended up in the hospital after a terrible injury. Later that night, Baki, with anger and sitting with guilt, prepares to train his body to the limits that he's never been able to tap into before. Training his body to a near-death experience, Baki unlocked a valuable asset in his mind called the endorphins. And endorphins is a human's pain reliever that makes the fear of death impossible, meaning he is able to endure and resist pain during any battle and also exceeding his own limits. Baki finally meeting up with the Yasha Ape once again for a fight to the death, explaining to Ando not to intervene in the fight. Baki explaining how he gouged out the Yasha Ape's eyes, saying that he feels pain as well, while he himself has scars all over from the intense training, meaning that the Yasha Ape has emotions as well. And this is where Baki becomes more wiser than ever. He understands his opponent's emotions. Now he understands that nature revolves around everything. The Yasha Ape and both Baki was sent on this planet for one thing and one thing only, is to look up to their family's titles as ultimate legends. Baki overpowering the Yasha Ape with a move that crushes the ape's neck. The Yasha Ape getting back up, admitting defeat, walks back to his cave for a reason. Baki later that morning, dwelling from last night, on how the ape would have finished him off, but Ando explaining that nature decides the fight, and nature selecting Baki as the winner. Baki finally realizing on why the Yasha Ape walked away. Long time ago, the Yasha Apes were peaceful animals until the title of the strongest man came along after the earth evolved, Men all over the world try to prove themselves from fighting the angry side of the Yasha apes. Finally, noticing the Yasha ape Baki has fought went back to his cave, seeing Baki bringing back his wife's skull, the ape Yajiro defeated a long time ago. Yajiro is known for his dirty antics and his passions of arrogance, but Baki showed a side that does not make him mentally relatable to his father. Baki learns from the Yasha ape that fighting is never about proving a point to anyone or helping someone carry out their own legacy, as nature teaches you to discipline your own well-being, being the best you can be as a person, and to others. Yasha ape gave Baki what he wanted, a fight to solve what young Baki was looking for, his path of what he'll become as a grappler in the future. After that day, Baki respects every fighter he meets, as just as the Yasha ape losing his wife, Baki knows now that everyone has feelings, strong men or not, but a true warrior gives a fighter what he wants and what he needs, which is respect. Baki once wanted to be the best fighter in the world, to realizing that he also has a purpose to help others and connect with fighters.
I get it. I'm just another human being, and I won't be able to beat the forces of nature forever. I'd be a fool to ever think I could try. What is the strength of a grappler compared to the immensity of time? It is the one opponent that will never be dominated. But I can sure give it my best shot! Ha! My journey has only begun.